let's get into like the now.
Sure.
I know you just started your a journey through Strive, and you've been documenting it, and it's been very entertaining to see. Before Strive, were you playing DNF?
I was, yeah. So DNF
Okay.
Duel, when it came out, I grinded for about a month or two. And I still play off and on, about like, I don't know, like 5-10 hours a month, right? Like just enough to keep fresh in the game. I've been more commentating DNF Duel because I really like that community. The community is like super names you aren't familiar with, but are really good at fighting games. And I actually really like the game. Excuse me, I really like the game. So yeah, I'm doing commentary. I'm actually doing commentary at Combo Breaker for
cool.
likely DNF Duel. Don't have the final schedules yet, but yeah, it's DNF Duel's a great game. I love it, and I enjoy supporting the community. And I will always hit the sticks with anyone who asks for that game. It's a hell of a lot of fun. It gets a bad rap, but I love it.
Yeah, and I know you. Well, first of all, what did you think of the Arc World Tour Finals?
It was, I mean, the matches were sick. Like I love the matches. Like we saw Vanguard. Like what a what a turn of events. But the character got pretty damn good. And yeah, I'm sad my boy Mystic Smash didn't win. But other than that, like Goichi's the GOAT as always, and Strive was hell fun to watch too. Like oh my god, Skill was cooking with soul. But yeah, my bracket predictions, I was right on Goichi and Mochi winning, so I'm happy about that.
Nice. How about that production value though?
The production value was sick.
This is me fishing for compliments because I was working the content production for that.
Nice. No, it actually was really good. Like cool. Every time I see Ramlethal, I see Zondo going.
Yes.
Yeah, those things were sick.
It was so funny because like I'm the one fighting game person in my team, in the content team for that company, and as soon as I saw Arc World Tour Finals, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and everybody was like, okay. Yep. And they just kind of went along with my wacky ideas. So
I legit was like, so I had a somewhat negative reaction to the DNF news, which is we don't have to get into, but I was like, hey,
I wanted to get into it.
Oh, okay, perfect. But I was like, hey, the production staff fucking killed it. Like the production and the players and the matches were so godlike.
Yeah. So let's get into like the DNF communications afterwards, I guess. They announced the character and they announced like some new systems, but that was about it. And I know your reaction. I remember seeing your reaction on social media being not a good one, which I don't blame you. But what were you kind of expecting that made you upset?
So I was expecting a release schedule of, like, I wanted Spectre to be out that day. And like the schedule they have and the things that they showed, I'm like happy with. I just wish the schedule is what's wrong, honestly. Like the timeline for the release of the characters is good. It just starts way too late because like not even a defined date. It said like Spectre will release in summer of 2023, and I'm like, well, summer could be June, it could be like August, right? Like we're talking like late August. It could potentially be. Doesn't fall start like September? I'm like, this feels a little. This honestly like felt like kind of bad. And you know, I work in game production, and like for me, I know how long characters take, and they take a long time. But I was like, wow, y'all didn't even start production on this until like the game was out and it sold, huh? Like you had to wait all the way until then to get started, and it's like it's not a good look, honestly.
Yeah. It felt like Nexon like wasn't completely into the idea of still working on the game until they saw the reception at the World Tour Finals.
I think that you know, those characters and the systems they announced, that stuff is planned pretty far in advance. But like how do I put this? I worked in mobile games for a long time, right? And in mobile games, what happens is the game is a success, and you test it, make sure it's a success before you invest more money in it, and you need a return on your investment for every single dollar spent. And I think that waiting and seeing how it does until producing content is not the way you do console games, and it's certainly not the way you do fighting games, right? Like you can't wait a year after release to release your first DLC character. Like at that point, you're at like Blaze Blue release schedule. That was like 10, 12 years ago, right? Oh my God, 12 years ago. Holy crap. 14 years ago, 2009, right?
Yeah.
like that release schedule is so old hat, and you can't release one character at a time. It have to be like, here's version 2, and it's released a year and a half later with 5 characters. Like even that would be better, but like
Yeah.
season 1 starting a year after release is not it.
Yeah, no, and I guess they took it extra hard that DNF wasn't a main game for Evo again this year, but it's still going to be a side tournament, I believe, and there's still like tournaments happening everywhere.
Yeah.
So I genuinely really enjoy watching that game. I played it for a little bit. It was very fun, but I get very frustrated. So I'll just stick to watching. But
Sure.
And I even lost to a coworker who doesn't play fighting games, and I got so pissed.
Behind every line I say on commentary, I'm like, oh, that was some sick mix. But it wouldn't happen to me, though, because I'm not playing. I'm up here. Damn, you got hit by that? Wouldn't have happened to me. I just commentate, bro. I play it, but, I ain't up here.
Oh, man. Well, here's hoping that here's hoping that DNF, when they start releasing stuff, it'll pick back up for sure.
It is a great game marred by a rough production schedule, and the community echoes the feelings that I have by and large. Not every single person, but a lot of them do. Like, we all want to see the game succeed because we all really like it. So,
for sure.